What's going on, everybody? My name is Aiden and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be discussing more buyout options for the Chicago Bulls, and this one is kind of divided into three different players because it's basically, I guess, trying to get a center, trying to get a rim protector into the Chicago Bulls team. And the guy that mentioned these three players mentioned Nerlens Noel, Robin Lopez, and a Dwight Howard. Those type of players that could potentially be available for the buyout market. So I'm going to try and talk and give my honest opinions about what I think will happen with that position, whether or not we will get a center from the buyout market, whether or not we will go and pursue somebody else. But before we get any further, if you like the video and you want to see more from me, drop a like, drop a follow, and or subscribe if you are new. And let me know in the comments below your thoughts about the Bulls potentially pursuing a center as a buyout option with this Bulls team. Now, before I get into that, there's actually an interesting stat that I came across that I wanted to bring to your attention here because, again, this is a Bulls channel. And as you guys are well aware, the All-Star game just happened and the All-Star weekend's coming to an end and we'll be very soon heading back to Bulls basketball. But with that being said, right, all things considered, the Bulls have had no All-Star representation for the first time since the 1980s. Again, that's a long time. No skills challenge participants, no dunk participants, no three-point shooting contest participants, no All-Star game participants, no Rising Star participants, no Celebrity game participants. I don't know, but there is no Bulls representation since the 1980s. And we sit here and we're talking about competitiveness. Now, look, I could not care less about the All-Star weekend. I couldn't. But even I am well aware that this is one of the most popular weekends in NBA history. This is a chance to get your exposure. This is a chance to get notoriety. This is a chance for guys like, for example, a DeMar DeRozan or a Zach LaVine, who was recently an All-Star not too long ago, to go and shine on the biggest stage the NBA has to offer outside of the playoffs. And not one Bulls player got to represent themselves there. That is pretty appalling. And this is the team that we're supposed to trust to compete. Let that sink in for a second, ladies and gentlemen. It is very, very upsetting to see not one Bulls All-Star, not one Bulls representation out there. So be better. Don't just say you want to be competitive. How about you show that you want to be competitive? And that goes to the players. That obviously goes to the front office as well, who claims that this team is good enough to be competitive. All right, I'll believe it when I see it. That's kind of how I view that situation. But moving on, I'm a bit frustrated. But let's talk about these couple of additions, right? Again, Nerlens Noel, Dwight Howard, Robin Lopez, a.k.a. trying to get a rim protector. Now, I can kind of understand where this guy's coming from in the sense that, you know, there could be a couple of reasons why we could pursue a center. Obviously, the first reason is injuries. Nikola Vucevic, granted he's been very durable, can get injured. Andre Drummond, backup center, foul trouble, can also get injured as well. So at the end of the day, if one of those two guys go down, we are extremely light in the center position. So I can understand why the Bulls could consider getting that third choice center. Again, not too long ago when we had Tristan Thompson in there, I think even Andre Drummond was there as well. We had a Tony Bradley in there. And at the end of the day, that was our third choice center that we were rocking with. And I even saw many people saying that we should have given Tony Bradley more minutes. I wonder how he's doing these days. But at the end of the day, he never really played. And I kind of get the vibe. If you get a Nerlens Noel, if you get a Robin Lopez, and if you get a Dwight Howard or you get any of those guys, you're probably not going to see them play that often, but maybe can make a difference if someone goes down. But I'm going to give you another reason why I think this could be a potential avenue to go down, even if it is very unlikely, and that is because the persistent use of Vucevic and Andre Drummond as a starting duo together. Now, when you verse teams like the Milwaukee Bucks, the Minnesota Timberwolves, teams like the Cleveland Cavaliers, I think the best way to approach those games, even in the games that we have lost, we've made it very close against them because of this. We start Vucevic and we start Andre Drummond at the same time. Now, if you want to continue going big, you don't have much choice in the matter this time around. You don't have much of a choice. You have to go smaller because those guys have to rest. Drummond and Vucevic are going to have to rest, which means you're going to have to go smaller. You're going to have to play one of them and sit one of them eventually. Whereas if you want to continue to go bigger, you go and sign, for example, a Dwight Howard that can replace an Andre Drummond. And then all of a sudden, you've got someone that can kind of replicate what Andre Drummond does, even if it's not at the level that Andre Drummond does it in. An athletic player that can rebound the ball, that can catch alley-oops, can block some shots. You know, can't complain much there if you're a Dwight Howard, if you're an Andre Drummond. Or, again, same with Nerlens Noel, athletic player, can block shots, can grab rebounds, can alley-oop. Again, makes a lot of sense. Or even if you're, you know, Nikola Vucevic and you have to sit, Robert Lopez, it's a fantastic post threat. I mean, he's not much else these days, but he could definitely, you know, enter the post and do some moves from that point of view. Maybe he can expand to the mid-range. I think he's expanded his shot to the mid-range these days as well. So you have a little bit more of an offensive threat if Vucevic goes and sits and stuff of that nature. So if you're looking at from that point of view, it could make sense to go and get another center because it gives you more variety in what style of play you want to run if you're the Chicago Bulls. Now, with that being said, do I see this as a possible and realistic avenue the Bulls go down? And my answer is no. I don't see this as a realistic and possible avenue the Bulls could go down. Now, I'm not going to say it's impossible, but I do see this as highly unrealistic. And the reason why is I feel like we could use better and we could do better decision making than getting those types of guys. I mean, I'm not sure what type of centers there are out there on the buyout market, but I don't necessarily think I'd want Dwight Howard, and I don't necessarily think I'd want Robert Lopez, and I don't necessarily think I want Nerlens Noel. You'd have to give me a better option in all honesty. We know Hassan Whiteside retired recently. You're going to have to give me something better, in my opinion, for me to pursue another center. The way that I see it, we've got Adama Sanogo just sitting there in the G League that's absolutely killing it for the Windy City Bulls. And look, I'd rather give a small ball center a chance because Billy loves small ball. I'd rather give that small ball center a chance than go and pursue, I guess, a veteran that, yes, can block a shot, but it also doesn't really add much else to this Bulls team, if anything. Again, I know we need rim protection. I'm definitely not ignoring the fact that we need rim protection, but I do think we need other avenues and more aspects more. I think we need a forward. I've been saying it for a while. We are extremely light in the forward position. You know, Torrey Craig has come back. He's done well. Patrick Williams will be coming back soon. That will be a big help. Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips, as much as they are showing a lot in this space, you know, if you put the full team together, they don't play. And if you're trying to compete, you need to have your full team together, which means that they're not going to play. And I do think there are better forwards out there that can make a difference. A true power forward can make the world of difference for this Bulls team. A physical presence in that forward position could be a massive boost for this Bulls team. And a shooter could be a massive boost for this Bulls team as well. Another guy that can shoot 40% from the three-point line, if you can find him in a Marcus Morris or in a Joe Harris, could be fantastic for this Bulls team. So I think the center position is low on my list. But look, if those options start to dwindle down, if Joe Harris ends up going to a different team and Marcus Morris Sr. goes to a different team and all these other guys, like Gallinari's already left, you know, if all these guys go to a different team, then maybe we can go and pursue a center. I'm not necessarily sure if it's the centers that you mentioned or that, you know, it was mentioned in this video. Because, look, I like Robert Lopez, but I don't see him as a rim protector. So I don't think he really fits. But he can play a little bit in the post, which is nice. Dwight Howard, he's getting up there in age. He's playing in Taiwan, I believe it is. And he looks like he's having a good time there. And there's no other NBA team calling him back. I'd like Nerlens Noel. I don't think Nerlens Noel is a bad option. But again, I don't really know what the issue is with him there. I don't know if it's an injury. I don't know what's going on with him and being out of the league. I would be enticed by a Nerlens Noel signing. But again, just not my first option overall. So what do you guys think? Do you think the Bulls should go down this possible route of getting a third center and that can maybe allow us to play bigger ball and also help us recover if one of our players go down? What do you guys think? And thank you for watching. Drop a like and a follow and or subscribe if you are new. And I'll see you in the next Chicago Bulls related video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay tuned for more. Take care and peace.